Hello everyone! This is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching. Welcome one and all to this newest edition of the Running on Empty Food Review series. I'm your host, the Report of the Week. Pleased to be here as always. Hope everyone out there checking out this video right now is feeling and doing alright. Wraps. Yeah, that says it all, doesn't it? And the bag says even more. Kentucky Fried Chicken is where it's from. Let's just get right into things. I would say that wraps, personally, I would say that they could be a pretty underrated fast food item. It's one of those things that oftentimes gets overlooked, but it could be very simple. Doesn't need to be the most complex item in the world, but it's one of those things that if done correctly, it could make an awfully good snack, or if it's of course on the larger size, or if you want to get a few wraps at least, it could constitute a pretty good meal as well. And I'm surprised that this is actually a pretty new release from KFC, as I know that they have a lot of different chicken sorts of products. I actually heard that KFC is making a few changes to their menu, by the way. I think they're going to be getting rid of some of their wings, and I think the popcorn chicken as well. But they've got wraps, so I guess that's supposed to cancel all that out. But indeed, KFC is adding their new Kentucky Fried Wraps to the menu, and they will be available in two varieties. You could get your standard original wrap, which is what I'll be reviewing here. You could also get a spicy one, which just has like a spicy sauce on it. But the concept is very simple. So for the price of $3.50, around $3.50, you'll get a tortilla. Inside the tortilla, they describe, is a chicken tender, crispy, some pickles, and some mayo. And there you have it. So it's just supposed to be a simple little item, maybe good for snacking, maybe if you're not very ravenous, it could be a meal in and of itself. But I just want to see, how good is it? Is it worth it? Let's find out. Comes in this little bag. There is the Colonel peering out at you. You look at those eyes. He's seen some stuff, I'll tell you that. No doubt. And this is the wrapping right there. What does it even say on it? Finger licking good. That's what they claim it to be. All right. Very straightforward. It's in the tortilla. And you could see essentially the tortilla, it's like it's giving birth to the chicken tender. That's a bad analogy. It's more like a chicken tender. Well, call it whatever you want, I guess. You could also think that it's more like a chicken tender wrapped up in a blanket. Doesn't really matter. In the end, it's a wrap. Oh, you could see the pickle right there. You see the pickle? And there's the mayo. There's the chicken tender. Yeah. Very simple. Straightforward. Let's see how it is. This is the original one from KFC going in. not bad. Really, not bad at all. I know this review is a bit on the quicker side, but sometimes you get these items that, well, they aren't the most complex in the world, and there isn't a ton to say about them. This is one of those items, but for what it is, all things considered, I'd say it's pretty good. When you bite into this, like I said, you're not going to notice a ton. Obviously, and I think as you could see size-wise, despite the fact that when you read this, and even when you actually see the size of the item itself, you might think it's just a chicken tender in a tortilla. So, I mean, how good is it actually going to be? But as you could see, I think the ratio of size from the chicken tender to the rest of the wrap is pretty good. So it's not like you're getting this tiny little morsel of chicken wrapped up in this huge tortilla and it's just drowning in mayo and you could barely taste it. Not at all. There's plenty of chicken there. It does have a nice little crisp to it. Chicken is good. It's flavorful. On the saltier side, though, you're definitely going to notice that saltiness to it. However, I will say that pickle addition always complements it quite nicely, and that tanginess that the pickle provides definitely helps balance everything out. It helps balance out the saltiness, prevents it from getting overwhelming, from going overboard perhaps, and that really works. Likewise, you have the mayo. I am not, and I always preface this just by saying that I am not the world's biggest mayo fanatic. So, I'm not one of those people that, as I know some do, I'll take the wrap and I'll kind of just like wring it out like a sponge over my mouth and just kind of, suck up all the mayo and become immersed in the flavor. I don't really do that. However, with that established, I'll say that the addition of the mayo, in this case, totally fine, even for someone who is self-admitted not the world's biggest mayo fan. Yeah, it's totally fine. It doesn't add necessarily a ton, but it gives it a little bit of moisture, and it certainly doesn't detract from the wrap in any way, shape, or form. But really what you're especially going to notice is that crisp, texturally. You're going to notice the saltiness from the chicken, but it's just balanced out quite nicely by the pickle. All in all, I would say that this is a pretty good snack. I would call this more of like a snack, but again, it depends. You could just get a couple of them, and I'm sure that would constitute a meal, but definitely a good snack. It's basic. You might say that it is no frills, but I'll certainly take that over an item that has this, that, and the other thing and winds up being absolutely god-awful. Compared to this, it might be simple, but for what it is, it's pretty good. So, out of 10, I'm happy with it. I think it's pretty good for what it is. Good amount of chicken. Price is well, it is what it is, but I'd say the price is good enough. And all things considered, yeah, I'm fine with it. So therefore, out of 10, the original KFC chicken wrap, from of course KFC, I'm going to be giving it a 7.5 out of 10. Slightly above average. I'm happy with it, and I have a feeling if you want something to snack on, it's easy to eat and tastes pretty good, all things considered. I certainly hope, like I said, I saw some news how KFC is probably going to make some changes to the menu, and it's going to be a shame if they actually do get rid of the popcorn chicken especially. It's disappointing, and I hope they don't, because that was one of my favorite items from KFC, but it'll be what it is in the end, and certainly we'll see what happens, but at least they have these wraps that are pretty good. That's all that I have for you. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm your host, The Report of the Week.